Bradford, you made some progress today. You definitely learned like a lot of the cause and effect of what happens in the sand. So to review, what were the two types of shots you worked on?
We worked on the flop bunker shot, and then we worked on the thing you were calling the chunk and run.
Yep. And what was your setup for each of those shots?
So for the flop, I learned kind of front of the stance. You open the club face, and so you have to aim a little bit left and open your feet, so it's aimed up towards the hole. And then you try to hit behind the ball and stay underneath it. And then for the chunk and run, it's kind of middle to back of your stance. And you're just coming straight over the top. The club face isn't as open, and you just kind of hit it.
Yep. And what scenario would you use those different shots in?
So you would use a flop, which kind of something like this, where you got to drop it, and it's pretty short green, but then the chunk and run for getting out and then dropping it and then run along.
Yep. And what do you think is the safer one? Like if you're not feeling too confident, you're in a tournament or something.
Probably the chunk and run. There's just less that can go wrong.
Yep. So now we talked about the setup. Now, what was your keys for actually hitting the chunk and run, actually hitting the flop shot?
So for the flop, it was how much sand you take and like the kind of the speed that you're accelerating through. So you want to hit more behind the ball and stay underneath it for longer. And then for the chunk and run, my keys was still the same thing, how much sand and what speed. But you have to go way slower because you're taking less sand than the flop.
Yeah. So now I'm going to give you some practice assignments. So you remember that drill we worked on with the 3 balls?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're going to take 3 balls in there. You're going to hit one with a chunk and run, one with a flop, and then the third one can be with whatever you choose. And then you're going to take the middle one, and you're going to try to get it up and down.
Okay.
And you can do that when you practice. You puts a little pressure on yourself to hit you have to hit 2 good ones, basically. Gets you a little putting practice as well. And then besides that, I think something that is good for you is to find the right amount of sand. Just draw a little line in the bunker behind the ball, and this will give you good feedback. You can also draw it in front of the ball to see if you're actually kind of staying under it. But you can draw it, you can try to enter the sand at this front line, try to exit the sand at the back line. That'll give you immediate feedback as to if you're hitting the right amount of sand. You can do that with or without a ball. I would say that's something to do before you start practicing. And then finally, just for some on-course practice, you say you play a lot, after work, especially when we're closing, and we're just going out and playing a few holes. Something you can do is just drop a ball or 2 in the bunker and just try to get it up and down. Use your 58, use your gap wedge. So those are your 3 practice assignments for this week. Looking forward to next week. I remember you talking about how you struggle a little bit with your putting pace, struggle with putting generally, you have to ride a little bit, and you kind of hit your 58 all over the green. So I think what we're going to work on next week is some like putting speed, putting line, and I can show you how to hit some bump and run shots with like your 9 iron.
Okay, perfect.
Thanks, Brad.
Awesome, thank you. See you next week.
Look forward to it.